Sure missed you guys. What's up, Uncle? Well, thank you. Doing today? Welcome into the show. I see you guys logging up and logging in. It's Monday today. We're back from a little vacay in the blowing rocks of North Carolina. Get this show rolling. I got a countdown already to roll. We're ready to kick it in. You guys ready? Here we go. Ah, yeah. Welcome to the Vital Axiom here on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope. Do my fade on my music here. It's on my one-man show here in the studio. How you guys doing? Welcome to see you. Good to see you back. Welcome back. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm totally confused. Good to have you back on the show this week. We've missed you guys. We had a great time down in the blowing rocks of North Carolina, having a great time blowing rock and running around Boone and all the area, just doing some cool stuff. Taking my grandbaby boy to the Tweetsie Railroad. That was awesome, and he's such a doll. Today is number 743. 743. Did you guys notice in the roll in there that picture I took from the balcony? So sorry. Where we were staying and hanging out with, I got to hang out with the family a little bit, and it was good. Let me see who's on the show today. Let me go back here and look. Let's see. What's up, Cindy? Christy. I'm sorry, Christy and Aaron, Uncle Aaron. John's here. Jessica and Jane and Pamela and Cindy and Pauline's here. Janet got in here and Amanda's here and Kathy and Jessica and Bonnie and my wife Sharon is here. Hey baby, and and Mary David Baker's here, Bob's here, Lynn's here. Florida got in the house. That's right. Theodore's in the house. Donna's here. Man, there's a bunch of people. Teresa and Christiana Ramos, my newly fiancée. How do you say that anyway? Daughter, soon to be in law. I don't know how to even say it. I don't know how to put it in the right terms. Hey, Chad and Sean, what you guys doing today? Welcome in. So I got to change the keys. Did you guys miss me? We had a great time though without you. I'm sorry. We did miss you though. We had fun without you. I love this song so much. One of my favorite songs that's been put out in quite a while. I love these guys, and they do great stuff. And so if I can get through it today with all that's going on, we're going to talk this week about lemons. Did you see that? I remember back in the 70s, my dad bought a Chevrolet Vega. That baby was a lemon. Woo! Had aluminum block in there in the engine. Didn't do too good. But that's not what we're talking about this week. Well, maybe it is. You guys ready to sing with me? Hey, push my wife, you guys. Send her private messages and harass the daylights out of her. She's promised me she might be on the show Wednesday before school's about to start back already. Nobody wants to talk about that. We'd love to have her on the show. We can get her here. I don't know. We're going to try real hard.
The
Who could stop the Lord Almighty? Amen. One of my favorites too, Brian. Good to see you guys on the show. Hey, Donna, what's up? Liana Filimonov. Slava Bogo. Kagdala. Hello, Don. Hey, Melinda. Tiffany's here, and Carol got in. Valerie's here. A bunch of people. Hey, Everett, long time no see. Good buddy. How you doing? And Paxton Wright's on today. How you guys doing today? Sorry about all the coughing, and you guys already know. If you come here on a regular basis, you already know that I struggle with that somewhat more than I ever have in my life, and would appreciate your prayers, even covet those. We're talking this week about lemons. It's a message that I share with the church, not this past Sunday because I wasn't here, but the Sunday before. Hey, Catherine. And so we're going to talk about that. We'll break it down. If you're new here on the show, we've been doing this. Where you been? This is number 743. 740. I think I'm just going to put it right there the whole time. 743 broadcast. We've been here hanging out, talking about the Lord and the Word, and just living life and talking about how that works. And I want to talk to you this week about lemons. About lemons. And there's an old saying, I know all of you know this already. What do you do when life gives you lemons? You guys know the answer? Anybody know? What do you do? Привет. I'm sorry, I'm speaking Russian to my friend in Latvia. How are you doing? How you guys doing? What do you do when life gives you lemons? Anybody know the answer? No. That's not the right answer, because I know you're saying, what are you saying? You're saying make lemonade. We're not making lemonade. No, we're not doing that. What do you do when life gives you lemons? And here's my answer. Don't become sour. You know, the thing that I see, and I've been in full-time ministry since 1981, 37 years almost, preaching and teaching and counseling and praying for people and traveling around the world to places like Latvia and other places, just loving people, with the love of the Lord, I hope. And I've seen a lot of people get lemons, and I've watched what happens in their life when lemons come, and they do come. We know that happens. What do you do when life gives you lemons? And my answer is don't become sour. Don't become embittered. Don't become angry. Don't become mad at God. All the things that we do when we have things happen in our life that are challenging and difficult. That's background noise. I'm like, where is that background noise? And I found out what it is. What do you do when life gives you lemons? Don't become sour. Thank you, Catherine. Don't become sour. Here's our foundational scripture for the week that we're going to look at. Here's what it is. It's in James chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation. Now, I'll read the rest of that later in the week, but right now, blessed is the man that endureth lemons. I know lemons are not always temptation, but there's always a temptation within those lemons. There's always a temptation to become sour, to become tempted, to be angry, to be bitter. To be bitter, my little grandson, we kind of, how you torture children, you give them a lemon and then you watch their face. We kind of tried that this week. It was a lot of fun. And what do you do in life? Blessed is the man that endureth temptation. And here's what the word endureth means. Let me just kind of give you some things. Now, let's back up and know that the word is blessed, which means to be blessed. So blessed is the person who endures lemons. And what does the word endure means? It means perseveres. That presses through lemons. All of us have had lemons. Blessed is a man that doesn't become sour. Is it okay if I just, hey Kim, hey Patty, is it okay if I just paraphrase that in Wayne Hager version? Blessed is the man who endured temptation, it says in James. I'm going to say, blessed is a man that doesn't become bitter, that perseveres. It comes out on the other side. Here's what I found out about every lemon situation in our lives. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and you get to go out on the other side. Life will get back to life. Things will change. Hey, Stu. And so blessed is the man that doesn't become sour. What do you do when life gives you lemons? Don't become sour. Blessed is the man that doesn't become sour. You see, it's not that, and here's what I want to talk about. We all know we're going to have trials. Every one of us knows that. All of us are aware that tough times are coming. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, the Bible says. We understand that what you're enduring, we'll read some of it later in the week. Other people in the world are going through the exact same thing. And so we know that there is an end, but what happens in the middle? See, it's not the coming of the trial, it's the outcome of the trial. If I could just stop right there and spend like the rest of the day talking about that. It's not the coming of the trial, but the outcome. Now, I think you know this already, right? Trials are coming. I think everybody is aware that that's going to happen. But that's not the answer. The answer is, what is the outcome of the trial? How will you come out? come out? How will you come out of the trial? What is the outcome of the circumstance, the situation, the difficulty, the hardship, the trouble, the challenge? What is the outcome? I'm going to get a drink of water here before I start coughing. What is the outcome of the trial? How will you come out? How will you come out? Will you come out bitter or better? How will you come out? We know that trials and temptations are coming. And I don't know if you know that. Some people are not aware of that. Stuff's coming because we live in this world. It's a real world. It's a world cursed with sin. And so we're trying to be righteous and follow Christ. And that is totally anti to the culture. It's totally opposite of what's people believe and what you see on your television set. We're trying to be holy and righteous and walk with Christ and be obedient and all these things. And we know that in that process, trials and temptations are coming. And by the way, trials and temptations, I wouldn't say temptation, but trials for sure come to the world too. Now, it's not temptation to them because they're sinners. And what do sinners do? They sin. What do Christians do? They try not to sin. They try to avoid sin. Should we sin? And Paul said, God forbid. So we know that trials and temptations are coming. Things like loss. Maybe you've lost somebody or lost something in your life. You lost your finances, lost your health. Things like hurt. Have you ever been hurt by anybody or a lot of somebody's? I mean, that's coming. It's going to happen. And if you live long enough, what about disappointment? Things just didn't go your way. What about pain or temptation? We know these things are coming. There isn't any question that today something may disappoint you. Today something may hurt you. Something may make you afraid. We know that's happening. The question is, what will the outcome be as you walk through that? What will the outcome be as you walk through that? That's what we got to begin to surmise. When life gives you lemons, will you become sour? Will you become bitter? Will you be a person that is, hey Lisa, how are you doing? Hey Joe, when life gives you lemons, will you become a sour, bitter person, or will you come through it stronger and better? And the Bible says that we can, by the way, that we can come through it. So thanks for the hearts on Periscope. Hey over there. What will the outcome be? What will we allow? I want you to get this statement here. We're about out of time today. What will we allow, and that's the key words, we allow our trials to do to us. And then some of you say, look, that's not fair because it was really painful. It really hurt. It was a great loss. I get that, but what are you going to do with it? Because the whole emphasis of this week's message is not the trial and how hard it is. The emphasis, the thought, the direction I want to take this message this week is not the situation, but what you do with the situation. You're going to have situations. You're going to have them. The question is, how do you handle them? What do you do with them? And handle, what I mean is, what is our response? So what will we allow our trials to do to us? We're going to have trials. We know that already. What are we going to allow them to do to us? What will we think about this for a minute. What will we allow our trials to do in us? I've seen people go through divorce, through loss of a loved one, and they became a different person. It's like they weren't the same person anymore because they allowed, and don't be offended by that because we allow lots of stuff. They allowed that situation to cause them to become soured. They allowed that situation to cause them to become embittered. And it's not that it's not justifiable. It is, because trials are painful. Loss is unbelievable. I mean, we've gone through in our church here recently, hey, Dennis, we've gone through our church recently, two young people drowning. I mean, think about it just for a minute. Two people drowned. Think about their families and how hard that is to deal with. It's impossible in the natural. So the question for this whole teaching, this whole conversation we had this week is, what will we allow our trials to do to us? What will we allow our trials to do in us? Watching from Kenya, Missouri, Bwana Asifiwe. We got some Kenyans in the house today. I love Kenya. I've been there. In fact, I was walking through the mall down in Boone, and this lady was sitting there selling a lot of soapstone, and I said, let me ask you a question. She said, what? I said, where's it from? She said, Kenya. I said, I've been there. I've been to Nairobi. And good to see you, Dennis. God bless you. And hey, Melinda. Hey, how you doing? So let's kind of wrap with that today. If we live in this world long enough, we're going to face some stuff. It's just going to happen. What is it, or what it is, or when it is, we don't have any idea. What we become or how it shapes us, we can know. We can decide. Let me read that again. That was a mouthful. If we live in this world, we are going to face some stuff. Every one of us. If we live in this world, we're going to face some stuff. What it is or when it is, we don't know. What we become or how it shapes us, we can know. And we can decide. What are you deciding today? I'll bet some of you listening today, who will watch this later, hey, Tupel, Some of you are watching on Facebook or watching on Periscope. Some of you are watching over on YouTube. Some of you are facing stuff. You're going through some stuff. You're going through some hard times, some difficulty, some temptation. Hey, Doug. The question is, what will you allow it to do in you? What will you decide to allow it to do to you? You can make a decision. And I promise you this. This is what I promise. This is my promise for this week. It doesn't have to go like everybody expects that it should. You can be an overcomer. We're going to talk about that. So when life gives you lemons, don't become sour. See you tomorrow morning at 11:30 on the Vital Axiom. Share the show with somebody. Tell them about it. As Catherine says, if you want to make a donation, you can do that through our church website. I am finished. I got the music up, and I'm ready to jam a little bit. Love you guys. Have a great, great day. And I'm just plain and simple out of here. I'm done. There's the picture from where we stayed.